Ahoy polloi, and welcome back to the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast. I'm as ever, your humble and contrite host, Michael Lundy, and we have a special episode for you today. After a little bit of a hiatus over the summer, we are back, and we've got a little bit of a different format. We are not only doing audio, but we're also doing video podcasts, thanks to our friends down at Music Culture Supply in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. You can watch this episode with Rebecca Jade and Jay Moore on their YouTube channel. And we will have a link to that in the description of this podcast. But we're going to chat with Rebecca Jade and Jay Moore, proprietors of Music Culture Supply down in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. And they're going to talk about their vision for making an all-inclusive community and a music store in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. So sit back, relax, and put those tray tables in the upright and locked position for Rebecca Jade and Jay Moore on the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast. Hey, welcome back to the Rec Room Radio Hour podcast. I am, as ever, your humble and very contrite host, Michael Lundy, and something really different going on with this episode. We have video, so now I can see and I can talk to you. Thanks to Music Culture Supply for really kind of setting this up, and we're kind of seeing how things are going to go, and if they work out, we're going to have more interview videos with musicians from the Central Susquehanna Valleys. We're going to have talks with venue owners. We're going to have discussions about the local music scene. But we wanted to start out with our first episode of the video podcast with the folks that are setting up what is pretending to be a really significant player here in the local music scene, and that's Music Culture Supply here in Sunbury. And we have Rebecca Jade, who is an alumni of the podcast. Her episode is one of the early ones that we did, and you can pick that up wherever you get your podcast. But we also have Jay Moore here, who is the brawn behind this whole operation. So, without further ado, let's chat with you guys. Jay, well, thanks for having us down
Thank
here.
you.
Rebecca,
Appreciate it.
always a pleasure. Let's talk with Rebecca really quick because we've already done your episode. About a year ago almost, wasn't it? Or
I think it was longer.
I think it was longer than that. My time flies. Just really quick, where were you born, where you grew up, and some of your musical influences and stuff like that.
Yeah, I grew up in Lehighton, Pennsylvania, and I grew up with a lot of church music influence, and my parents listened to a lot of music from the 60s and 70s and stuff too, oldies.
Yeah.
And then my dad and I kind of bonded over music when I was like later on in my high school years.
Yeah.
And then I started kind of exploring different genres and I discovered like Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Good.
So yeah, those were some big influences.
Now, your primary instrument is keyboard, correct? What would you say is your primary instrument?
I would say keyboard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think the first time I ever saw you play was keyboard.
Yep.
But there's another little facet of your music abilities that is just blows me away, is that you can pick up a harmony like that. You're probably one of I would say you're probably one of, if not the best harmony, not only singers, but also harmony composers and arrangers in this area. And I know that from experience. So you are a musical force to be reckoned with. You play solo, you play with a couple duos, and then you have your band. Tell us a little bit about, because that's new since we chatted a year plus
The band?
ago. Yeah. But you also do a couple duo shows. Yep. But tell me about the band, though, after you tell me about your duo stuff.
The band has been definitely like breathing life into my my music career. I really love it. I have a full band. It's a drummer, lead guitar, and bass, and backup vocal.
Yeah. So it's a 4 or 5 piece?
4-piece.
4-piece. So it's you.
Yep.
Who else?
It's me, my daughter Rose.
On bass, right?
On bass and backup vocal. And then Steve George on lead guitar.
From Lowbrow.
Yes.
Yes.
From Lowborough.
Yes.
And then I kind of alternate between two drummers just because of availability.
Yeah.
I'm working with Jake Klein, and who's excellent.
Oh yeah.
And Slade Heller,
Okay.
which we all know he's involved in a lot of projects, and he's in high demand. So.
Well, you got the cream of the crop then. I mean, because I've heard Rose not only play bass but also that familial harmonies that you guys can do.
Yep.
Steve George is like he's awesome.
Yes.
I mean, he's a guitarist.
Yes.
And if you got the caliber of Jake Klein up there with you.
Yep.
So. Now you had said that it opened up, or it put more life into your music. How so with a band?
Well, just because I think it's the right avenue for my originals.
Okay.
I was trying to insert my originals in places where maybe they didn't belong before, and I just believe that they are meant to be played with the band.
Yeah.
And so it's really breathing life into that music, into my originals, and it's kind of just given me a real excitement for my originals, and I can't get enough of playing with the band. It's so fun.
I think there's something to being in that microcosm or that community of a band, 4-piece, 5-piece, whatever.
Yeah.
That is just, I mean, you're all kind of in it together. You're all kind of backing each other, but having a full kit though. From my experience, our band has gone to a full kit. I was like, oh my gosh, this is just so, like you said, it just kind of opens things up.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So you stayed busy kind of on the music side, the music performance and writing and all that.
Yep.
We're going to talk to Jay here about this and then bring you back in for your part. Yeah. So Jay Moore, the first time I met you, I must have been up at the Pajama Factory when you were doing sound up there.
Yeah.
And I think it was for something that we put on with the radio station. And you just blew me away with your skill, because I thought, he's just going to be some clown comes in with a mixing board and just and then sets everything up and walks away. It's like, where's the sound guy? But you were there all day and you were tweaking and you made sure. And I was like, man, this guy is not only got some chops, but also he's very professional. So that's the first time I met you. I didn't know you were a musician. So tell us, where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Bloomsburg, spent most of my life there. I bounced around a little bit between like Bloomsburg, Berwick, and some of the surrounding areas as a teenager, but most of my time was in Bloomsburg. That's where all of my friends and relationships kind of started, and I spent most of my time. But I'd say it's Columbia, Montour County. I've been in most of my life. So.
Oh wow! I didn't know you. I didn't know you were from Bloomsburg. I always thought you were from like Sunbury.
No, that's what everybody asks me now that Rebecca and I have done, things here. But Bloomsburg is where I grew up.
Music-wise, was your family musical? Mom and dad, sisters, brothers?
Yeah, so not really. Like my family, not musical at all. But my first memories, like my first positive memories in my world, were of my mother. When I was a child, cleaning our house, and my mom couldn't sing and she couldn't dance, but she loved music so much, and she would bop around the house, dusting and cleaning while she was like spinning in circles and singing along with her favorite tunes like 50s and 60s pop, Bruce Springsteen, Moody Blues, a lot of stuff that really stuck with me over the years. And I think ever since then, I had an affinity towards being more of a music fan for most of my life and just really appreciating music.
Now, when did you pick guitar? Is your primary instrument? Or?
I would say so. I have a hard time calling myself a musician, but I'm getting to where the point is that I can do that. Rebecca and I have talked about this a lot.
Yeah, well, we had this discussion about, you play the guitar, do you write songs? You're a musician.
I play the guitar and I do write songs. So I haven't been playing guitar that long, really. So I did pick one up over the years as I was in my 20s, but it was more like I pick it up and I go, ding, 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 ding. Oh, that sounds really cool. Put it away, and then I'd never see it again for 3 years, and then in 3 years, I'm like, I should try to learn how to play guitar again. Pick it up, ding, 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 ding. Oh, that was cool. Put it away. And that was kind of how my entire life with guitar went up until I was about 40, almost 40.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and I'm 46 now. So it's about seven years, I'd say, is all the longer I've actually been playing. Yeah, so.
Honestly, I really thought you were, Started when you were a kid and kept. So you really have only been seriously playing guitar with.
I'd say seriously, like
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now your musical wheelhouse tends to be a little bit more. How should we put this? A little bit more assertive than most.
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I grew up when I started to get into my own musical taste in life in my teens. I gravitated toward things that were a little more alternative. I mean, I started out with like gangster rap in the 90s and grunge music and punk rock.
Yeah.
And I actually, ever since then, I like love that aggressive, artistic, noisy, like just rock music, but not stuff that most people are into. So so that's kind of how I evolved then into the more like punk music, which I made in my bands.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Ian from Kitchen Teeth. He was. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah. Yep.
He was a rapper. The lead vocalist for Kitchen Teeth. He was a rapper like years ago, and it was like, really?
Yeah. It's funny because when I was like 16, 17, my friends and I, that's what we did.
Yeah.
We would go to house parties together, and our friends would spin records and make beats, and we would all get in circles and freestyle rap together. And we would like battle each other. Like seriously, it was like we'd have like
in
10
Bloomsburg,
of us.
Pennsylvania.
In Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Yeah. We would just have these like battles and freestyle sessions, and we were like writing songs together, making beats, spinning.
Now, did you make a beat on or did you do it yourself? Did you go?
No, we would use
pretty good, huh?
old Boss beat machines and Akai MPCs and LSR 10 sampling keyboards and
So now the question is, do you still rap?
I do once in a great while. A funny story.
Would you care to share some with us right now?
So I have 2 stories. I won't try to make it too long, but the first one is one time 2 years ago, Rebecca and her kids and I were out camping, and we were all on the fire, and I said, hey, we should have a freestyle rap competition. So me and Rebecca and her 2 daughters, we all on the spot freestyle made up some raps and tried to rap to each other.
Wait a minute.
Safe to say I was the worst.
No. I was just gonna say, I don't want to hear your rap. I want to hear you rap.
No, you do not.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I mean, it's everything builds as a tapestry to what you do now, and we both got some like weird stuff in our musical background, but it makes us who we are. So I mean, that's cool. Yeah. Are you playing in a band now, or are you kind of focused on what you're doing here? Or are you playing out at all?
No, I'm not playing out really at all. My focus has changed slightly. Most of my time and energy is into the store and the things that we're doing in the store, which I think we'll get into here.
Why don't we get into that now? So tell me about Music Culture Supply. When did this idea come up? When did this idea come?
It was Rebecca's idea.
Aha! Well, please do tell.
Not entirely, but
it was a little bit, yeah. Well, we had been. I mean, Jay is an idea man. He's always, and he's a businessman, so he's always wanting to do some sort of business. And it's the year that we spent kind of just brainstorming about like what could we do.
Now, I'm gonna stop you. When did this idea, this concept come up?
Well, from the time that we met started actually spending time together was in 2023, the end of 2023. Okay. So from that time, we really were kind of just spinning our wheels and trying to think of some things that we could do.
I had owned 2 businesses that I got out of and sold. We had sold, and I'd moved forward, and I wasn't really doing anything I guess financially at the time, and it was just like me trying to decide existentially trying to decide what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. Yeah. So we would be having these discussions every day, and I went like a year not really doing anything, and just should I do this? Should I do that? What should I?
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how the conversation.
Yeah. So that was the conversation. We talked about maybe restaurants, bars, different things. But I think one day we were just sitting in my living room, and I said, something along the lines of, what if we did like just like a little music?
What about a music store?
or-
So it was funny because she mentioned restaurants, and one of our big ideas was to try to do a venue. And we considered maybe trying to reopen a local venue.
Yeah.
I had some restaurant experience. But after talking about it, I was like, Rebecca, it's going to be a lot of work and a lot of stress. And she was like, yeah, I'm willing. I have your back if you want to, but I don't know if I want all that stress. And I said, I don't think I do either.
Yeah.
And that's when she said, well, did you ever think about a music store?
Yeah.
I mean, we are musicians.
Yeah.
We love music.
Every single thing that we thought of as a business was always music related in some way, like a venue or lessons or a band, or trying to make, her band more of a viable experience in that sense. And everything always ended up being music related.
Yeah. So this was 2023 is when you guys kind of got together. So it's 2 years ago. So this has kind of been germinating for the last 2 years.
I would say it was only about a year ago
that the business
that this idea sparked.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we were thinking of all kinds of other ideas, and then about a year ago we were, having this conversation, and so we didn't really have a whole lot of time till before this actually came to fruition.
Yeah.
So.
Now, initially, were you thinking of just like a music store where you sold guitars, basses, amps, strings, what have you, and that was it? Or did you always envision it being more?
I think we're all both kind of big dreamers
Yeah.
a little bit. Maybe me not as much as him, but I see the bigger picture, I think, in a lot of things.
Yeah, it never wanted to be like just a store.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The community is very important for us.
So we'll talk about the store, just the nuts and bolts of the store. You're located where?
So we're obviously in this recording, we're inside the store right now, 362 Market Street in Sunbury.
Okay.
And that's where the store is located. After a little bit of turmoil trying to find the perfect spot, but we are here now.
Okay. So the nuts and bolts of the store, you do sell guitars, you do sell basses, amps, strings, picks, what have you.
Yep.
You do sell that. So it's a standard brick and mortar music store. So if I wanted to come in and buy a electric bass and an amp, I could come here and buy it.
Yes.
Okay. How are you different then than your run-of-the-mill brick and mortar store in Anytown, USA?
We're nuts. That's why we're a little crazy. That's how.
Well,
it's like those old commercials you used to see for the mattress outlets. Come down, come down, come down. Like, get a mattress, 99% off. Not quite that crazy though.
Yeah. So besides the music store, what else is going to make what else is making this tick?
Well. You? Me?
Can I say something?
Sure.
Okay. Well, one thing is that I think we both wanted it to be a kind of hip place to be.
Yeah.
Like not just a store where you walk in and it's kind of boring.
Yeah.
We wanted it to be people to like actually want to hang out here.
Okay.
And like just chill. Like just come here. I mean, it's pretty cool because we have kids that come have been walking here after school and just kind of stopping in.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And they'll just sit and play guitars or whatever. And that's what we want. We wanted to have it be kind of like more than a store and just like a hangout spot. That's just one layer of it, but you can talk about more.
Because I mean, if you grew up in music stores, like I remember the little music stores we had when I grew up in Bradford, Pennsylvania. I mean, that's what we did. We went in there and hung out. Now the problem is you couldn't hang out for very long because you guys got to buy something or get out of here. Not the case.
No.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I mean,
not the case.
Yeah.
No.
Now that doesn't mean that you can just come in here and hang out and not buy anything. It is a business, but still.
I mean, honestly, we don't care.
Yeah.
We do not care.
Yeah.
One of the kids that we met at the open mic we're doing came in last week, and I sat there with him. He's probably 20 years old, 19, 20 years old, and I sat here and talked to him about bands for an hour.
Yeah.
Just him and I.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just bands that we both liked. And Steve, Rebecca's guitar player, lead guitar player, Steve George, came in here the other day, and him and I were scientifically trying to come up with a new tone on his board, and we're trying out some pedals that I had, and he looks at me and he goes, dude, He's like, I miss hanging out at guitar stores like this. He's like, I've always just loved it. And he's like, I love just being here. Yeah. And you and I just kind of trying stuff out. And I'm like, yeah, that's what this is about. So.
But don't certainly don't write off the fact that you're going to make an impression on some kid. I can still remember going to the music store in Bradford, Pennsylvania, and the guy behind the counter was a huge fan of the Kinks, the band The Kinks. Yeah. And we would just sit for, and I was probably like 13, 14 years old, but I would sit for hours just talking about the Kinks and and I still remember that vividly, sitting in there talking with him. Yeah. And I bought guitars from them eventually when I started playing. So, it's building those little foundations, not only for customers and all that, but to get music kind of ingrained back into the culture, whether it's young kids or old kids.
Yep. Well, here's the thing. I have heard so many times from people my age or older make statements like, kids aren't into music. Kids aren't coming out for music. Kids aren't playing music. Kids aren't listening to music. But they're wrong. They are. Mm-hmm. Kids are. They're starting bands. Yeah. They're playing in bands. They're going to shows. They're making music. They're consuming music. The landscape has changed a little bit, and It doesn't look like it did in the 1970s and 80s. It's not the same, So.
Well, but I mean, having grown up in the 70s, it wasn't the same as, the music from, the music environment in the 50s or the 40s. Certainly not the 40s.
Yeah, things are always changing.
Yeah,
always
changing. And I think that's what those of us of this generation need to, apply that rubric to, the young kids, which I hate using that term, but they're doing it. But they're doing it their own way. Now, a lot of it is, keyboards and stuff like that. But if you, get them back into guitars and you can...
They're doing it. They're playing guitars. I mean, at our open mic, we have 10 to 15 kids.
Yes.
Well, that's another
that show up and play. And these kids are they're just starting and they're writing their own songs and they're playing guitars. Yeah. And it's like...
Well,
awesome.
The first one that you had that I would participate in down at Midtown Bistro here in Sunbury, that was amazing. All the young kids that, some of them really nervous, but no, man, this is family friendly, or this is a friendly environment.
Yep.
So good segue just to say that to backtrack a little bit to the question about what else we're doing other than a music store. The open mic is our community involvement, and we have a lot more things like that. But before we talk about the open mic, that's one of those things that we are doing to try to be a little bit different than what your typical music store.
Well, one of the other things that you're doing is you're doing setups and repairs to instruments as well. Yep. Now, is it just guitars and basses, or are you savvy enough to actually tackle amplifiers?
Well, so I do get asked that a lot. It's been mostly guitars and basses for now. Acoustic guitars, electric guitars, bass, and I would say that's probably what I'm best at. I've kind of gotten into certain aspects of amplifiers and repairing. I'm not quite comfortable enough yet to do it as a paid service for someone.
Sure.
But I do have a client bringing one in, and we have an agreement that we're going to look at. I'm going to look at it, but if it's something outside of my wheelhouse, I'm obviously not going to do it professionally for him. But I'm not going to charge him. We're going to look at it, and he agreed upon that.
But guitars, basses, acoustics, electrics, boom, that's your wheelhouse. Yeah. Wow. So I'm trying to think of the right. Is that lucrative enough to kind of keep things going to help you build this community?
Well, that's the plan.
As long as they keep coming in.
Yeah. I can tell you that we've been open, 6 weeks, 7 weeks?
This will be 6.
Yeah, something like that.
Wow.
6 or 7 weeks, and I've probably done services on 20 guitars already.
Because I looked at your workshop back there; it's pretty full. I
mean, I have 4, I think, right now that I have to finish in the next 2 days. So,
yeah. Well, what are you doing here? You should be back there working.
I know.
But speaking of here, so you have the music store where I can come in and buy a bass guitar and amplifier. You have the repair and setup, so that and I'm assuming anything on the wall is set up by you, correct?
Yep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So if I want to come in to have my bass repaired, I can bring it to you.
Yep.
But also, we are sitting right now in the store in the studio. So talk to us a little about this, because this is different. This whole setup.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a tendency to talk too much.
It's okay.
No, I'm just.
Join the
So
club.
this is probably going to be like our. I don't want to say like, it's definitely not like our bread and butter. Like you said, the store and the services and some lessons and things that we're doing are all our bread and butter. This is our creative outlet outside of the actual producing and playing music.
Got it.
So this is where we want to spread the word and talk about music and teach music and show everybody what we're capable of. So we have a lot of plans for this particular spot right here.
But this is like a little performance stage.
It's a performance stage, and it is a podcasting studio, and it's going to be a YouTube studio for gear reviews, rig rundowns. We just the other day recorded a little solo raw acoustic set of just Rebecca performing one of her original songs.
Yeah. Well, you did a little rig rundown too, didn't you?
Well, I did a really quick. That was more like a test video about just one product.
Yeah.
But also on the list is we're going to be doing full band and like solo duo listening room storytelling recorded events in here. So we'll bring in like say Michael Lundy, and Michael Lundy sits here and plays his original songs, and
you'll hold the door open as everybody leaves, but that's okay because
they'd be silly not to show up. That's for sure. So
anyhow,
we have we'll have a crowd here, an audience, but we'll be also recording just like we are right now. And then you play your songs, and we get very intimate, and then we'll interview you about the songs, and then we'll have question and answers with the audience, and you can talk about
we really want to get to know the artist.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that with both solo acoustic acts and then also full bands. I mean, you can kind of think, and not to steal this or to say we are anywhere close to what they are, but like Tiny Desk Concerts on NPR, and KEXP is a YouTube channel, Audio Tree Live. There's a bunch of them out there that are like recording live sets and making it like an interview process. So that's really big on the.
I think you guys are breaking new ground with that. I mean, I don't know that anyone in the area is doing anything like that right now. If they are, they're keeping it like pretty down low.
Yeah.
Jeff Pittenger up in Montoursville with Pennsylvania Pipeline is probably about as close as you're going to get to what you're envisioning with this.
Yep.
But I like that because there's so much more to music than than the performance, and going to see somebody, but getting to know them. And then the fun thing, at least from my perspective as a musician and a songwriter and a guitar player and whatnot, is, I want somebody to go through and so here's a Sterling bass and, all the features of it, kind of the, as you said, the rig rundowns.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, and you can either come in with your pedal board or stuff that you have here. Just, as I said, the day that you guys open, the sky's the limit with this. I mean, but this area right here is worth the price of admission for what you want to do long term.
Right. That's the plan.
Yeah. So we're doing the podcast now here. It's going to be on YouTube and various podcasts. You're going to also do like discussions about various topics of the music scene here in the area, the goods and the bads, and kind of get a little bit more, how should we put this, a little bit more edgy than
hot button issues.
Hot button issues.
But
not
not
all
too
the
hot.
time.
Maybe warm button issues.
Yeah. But I mean, but I think having frank discussions with musicians and venues and stuff like that, just to kind of get the perspective.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with
musicians, producers, venues, sound guys, anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody that loves and is involved in music and wants to talk about it.
Yeah. So how are you balancing because you're busy, you're doing your solos, you've got your duo, two duo formats, your full band, plus, your any little side hustles you have with recording and stuff like that. How are you balancing all this with the store?
I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I just try to be available for whatever I can help with whenever I can. You know, I'm still like working and doing, you know, things that I have to do, you know, to support the family and everything.
Yeah.
So
now, do you envision you like coming in and like either conducting or filming or both, like, you know, songwriting workshops or, you know, vocal workshops and stuff like that?
I have a huge passion for songwriting.
Yeah.
So I would love to host and kind of run a workshop at some point about songwriting.
Yeah.
I have lots of ideas with that. So,
Well, just in discussing this with you guys, not only here, but also just, you know, when you were setting things up, even before you did, I mean, just as I said, the sky's the limit. I mean, there's just such a broad palette of what you could do with the store and then, you know, with this to really promote and encourage the music environment, culture here in the area, because I contend that for a size of an area as the Central Susquehanna Valley, it's Bloomsburg, Lewisburg, Williamsport, Lockheed, what have you, we have a vibrant music culture scene, whatever you want to call it here, with very, you know, singer-songwriters, blues, Celtic music, reggae, jam bands, you know, what they're, you know, DSM-8's doing, they're, you know, kind of alternative punk rock. You know, we have got some, and for a music venue, which is, well, I'll start calling this now, a music venue to celebrate that and encourage it and highlight it. I mean, that's huge.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the things that we're doing inside the store, and we're still working on, and it's taking a little time to get figured out mechanically here, but one of the things that we're doing, and it's very important for us, is we're going to have a specific spot here in the store where we're selling all the local bands' merch. So any local band that is playing music and has merchandise, we're going to have a section in here in the store to sell it. One of the most important things for us is promoting original music and bands and local music scene. So any way that we can help any local bands or acts or musicians in that way or any other way, that's what we're looking to do.
And when you say local, I just want to make sure that we're absolutely crystal clear on this. It's not just Sunbury and Lewisburg and Norrie.
I shouldn't even say local, but yeah.
Well, but I've tended regional or, you know, within the Central Susquehanna Valley.
So the thing is, I have friends who own a reggae promotion company, Rebel Sounds Rising, and they work out of the Bethlehem area.
Yeah.
And they work with artists from New Jersey and New York and all up and down the East Coast. And at some point, those guys will be helping us put on some shows and probably have them on interviews here as well, and some of their artists. So I don't want to say local and regional, but it's local and regional, you know, so.
It's kind of like whoever we connect with, like, you know, we want to help promote them.
So is that a call to action now? If you're a local, if you're a regional band and you've got merch and CDs and that,
oh, please
get them to you.
Yes.
You heard it here first. So just drop them by. Is there a, you know, how do they do that?
They could message us on Facebook or Instagram. They could email us.
What's your email?
musicculturesupplyco@gmail.com.
Okay.
And
you have a Facebook page, obviously. You have Instagram.
Yep.
MySpace still? You going old school or anything?
We have a couple pigeons in the back that we send out with newsletters.
Some of these Luddites out there. Could they just drop it by the store?
Yeah.
Drop by the store.
And the store is where again? Sunbury, what's the address?
362 Market.
362 Market, okay. What else? What else are you, because this is incredible what you just laid out. Now, what else are you thinking about?
Festival?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well,
festivals?
Yeah.
Do tell.
Well, we would like to have this town kind of come to life once a year with all about music. And we'd like to put on a music festival right here in town. And we hope that it grows every year and becomes something big. So we're just kind of right now in the brainstorming process of that, but we're looking at a specific date, and we want to give it a try maybe this coming year.
Yeah. Well, you've already done like a little beta test with that with your the benefit.
Yeah.
Festival,
that was actually
Yeah. Well, we've done a couple.
Well, just to elaborate, you did a when that was this summer, wasn't it, or this spring?
Last fall.
Last October.
Last October. Really? It's been that long? I thought it was like this year.
Yeah.
So last October, you did a benefit festival for Hurricane Helene, which went up into North Carolina and stuff like that. And right here in Cameron Park, correct?
Yep.
In Sunbury. And I mean, that's a great little park, just the right size. And you obviously already have connections with, the city to kind of help with all the logistics and that. Because it's just not just like, okay, bands come here and play. There's a lot of moving parts and logistics to doing that.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be so cool. That would be really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that particular event was just a off-the-wall brainstorm thing that we threw together in 3 weeks because Rebecca, we actually were planning to go on a vacation there.
That's right. I remember that.
In Asheville.
Yep.
And like 3 days before we were supposed to leave,
that happened.
Everything started and
canceled the trip.
We held off, and then I was like, we probably shouldn't go, obviously. And then it got bad, and then woke up the next day, and Rebecca was like, I am really feeling very internally like distraught about what has happened and these people. And she's like, I wish there was something we could do. And I said, well, let's do something. Yeah. And she was like, well, what can we do? And I said, let's do a fundraiser. We'll do bands. Blah, blah, blah. 3 weeks, we put it together and we made it happen. And we raised, I think, $6,000 in 3 weeks. And sent it down there. And
And from a participant's standpoint, I mean, it was very well run, very smooth. It wasn't the goat rope that generally sometimes these really quick little festivals or things. It was very smooth. The sound was incredible. Again, thanks to you. And your bands that you had were we just like a really nice little synopsis of the local music scene. So
Oh, it's funny.
I look forward to seeing these when you guys start planning them.
Yeah, well, we can't. That's actually how Rebecca and I met.
Oh yeah.
Was I planned a festival for my friends at Rock God Brewing in Danville.
Okay.
And we put that together, and same kind of deal. Only I had a little bit more time, but it was all original bands. 10 bands throughout the day. We blocked off the block. We had, I think, 30 vendors and 5 food trucks, and
Wow.
and these guys, they opened up their brewery, and it was a really successful time. But I had somebody drop out at the last minute, and then her name came up, and I said, "Have you ever heard Rebecca Jade?" And I said, "No." And
you will.
I called her, and then and then I booked her, and so we've.
That's where it started.
Yeah, that's where it started. Yeah. So we so we have a little bit of experience with putting together. I'd like to get more experience. I'd like to make this kind of our thing. Well, you have the experience from.
Well, no, you do. You set up. You set up the.
I have to say, it was inspiring for me to do that, and I'm very thankful that Jay kind of like pushed that along because I would never have done that on my own.
Correct.
But now I have a little more confidence and understanding that it's actually not like it's work, but it's not like you just do it. You just make it happen.
Yeah.
So, and I think together, like, we're a pretty good team with things like that.
Well, that's evident by this. I mean, I was just blown. My expectations when I came down here for the grand opening were, I'll be honest with you, I think I already shared, my expectations were really low. I was like, this is going to be, and I walked in and was like, whoa, this is not what I expected. And my expectations were exceeded. And not just because of the physical, like I said, brick and mortar of the store, but your vision for what you want to do. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you asked me to play a small part in what you're doing, because it's like, I want to be a part of this. This is going to be fun.
Yeah.
We love that.
Yeah. And I think that's, any way that we as a community can support each other, can promote each other, and can expand the audience for what, we have going on here. It's like, come on, bring it on,
Yeah. And that's what it's about. And I've talked with other people in Sunbury and the surrounding areas with some of the things that they do, like your work at WXPI and, other areas. And I tell them all the same thing. Hey, look, this is really about our community.
Right.
That's what it is about.
Yeah.
Like, when it's said and done, yes, we opened a store, but we opened this store to help our community.
Yeah.
And, I don't really care if I sell a guitar. I don't. What I care about is helping people find the right guitar, or helping people find the right place to play their guitar,
Right.
or helping people to find out how to write a song on their guitar.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
really what we care about a lot. And it's just that's our goal, that's our vision, and that's where we're trying to go with it.
It's amazing. It really is. And I think it's well overdue to have something like this here, and have it be with musicians who are passionate about it, who are connected to the local community, and who have you've got all the right parts for this. You've got the musicianship, you've got the vision, you have the entrepreneurial background. I mean, the sky's the limit with this thing.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Anything that we didn't talk about with music culture supply, I almost said society, music culture supply that we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about?
No, not really.
Really? We
about
hit
you?
all of the talking points.
Ooh, Rebecca.
I just want to tag on to what we were just saying about like the community. And I mean, I have to say, like, I love just walking down here and walking in the door and either meeting somebody new that I didn't know played guitar, or, so many people play guitar. It's amazing,
Yeah.
So I've met so many new people that I didn't even know were musicians. And then, or coming in and seeing a familiar face, like I walked in the other day and Kevin was here, Kevin Carell.
Oh, wow.
Just an example, but it happens very frequently where I just walk in the door and it's like, oh, there's, and
Somebody
and
in here
it's
just chit-chatting with me, and then you
chit-chat.
walk in.
Yeah, it's such a great feeling to just like be able to like kind of every day like see some of the music community and see them interacting. And
see them when we're not working, because a lot of times, if I come to see you, we can't sit down and have like a conversation because you're working.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yep.
So to be able to just, again, it's that whole, hanging out, whether it's young kids or, us gray hairs here.
Yeah. It's an opportunity to get to know people better and kind of,
See, I mean, this, again, This is going to be so great. It is great, but it's going to be so great, and I can just see where how great this is going to be in the future. So, anything else? Going once, going twice.
Did we cover everything?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, we can do a part two.
Yeah. Well, I think we covered quite enough.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Rebecca, always a pleasure to see you. Yeah. You, on the other hand, I am envious of your talents and your vision and what you're doing here. It is just so great. So thank you for allowing me to participate a little bit with this, but also to sit down and chat with you guys and kind of promote this thing. So, and thank you, everybody listening and watching this podcast on YouTube or wherever you're watching it. Thank you, because we could just play music here, but if there was no audience or if there was nobody to receive that music or those ideas, it doesn't really matter what we do here. So thank you for hanging out with us. Again, my name is Michael Lundy. We've been talking with Rebecca Jade and Jay Moore from Music Culture Supply here in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. Until next time, don't fret, stay tuned, and play nights. Bye-bye. Well, what did you think? Pretty cool, huh? Not too much different on the audio side, but it's so great to have the video up on Music Culture Supply's YouTube channel. And we thank Rebecca and Jay for not only hosting us, but just setting us up with all the video stuff to record these episodes. You can find this video and others at their YouTube channel, Music Culture Supply. And you can find Music Culture Supply right in downtown Sunbury, 362 Market Street, Sunbury, Pennsylvania. We really appreciate them helping us out and getting us back on the podcast airwaves. So check out their store, check out their videos, and they have a whole host of stuff coming up here in 2025 and 2026. Hey, until next time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, please don't fret. Stay tuned and play nice. I am, as ever, your humble and contrite host, Michael Lundy. Until next time, bye-bye.